of logic. So tonight's homework is going to have some more of those Venn diagrams on it. So it'll have a couple with a whole bunch of questions go along with it, just like last night. And then I think there's 8 of them that are going to be compound statements and truth value. Okay, so it's kind of nice that you get to type. So if you want to just type these out, it's probably going to be easier because we're going to have to type sentences. I know it's math and usually we don't have sentences, but it has to do with a lot of the theorems. So when we did the theorem, we also did the converse. We did that actually last unit when we did all of those angles. So when we did, it was like alternate interior angles theorem. And then there was also a converse. And one meant that if the angles are equal, then the lines are parallel. And the converse meant if the lines are parallel, then the angles are equal. Something like that, maybe vice versa. But that's what we're talking about. So we're going to learn about converses and things like that on Monday. Those are all called conditional statements. Today, we're only going to learn about ands and ors. So ands and ors are different kinds of statements. They do not have if and then in it. So all of those statements like theorems and converses and things like that, those are if-then statements. We're doing that Monday. So today, we're going to work with ands and ors. Now, when I say ands and ors, what I mean is you're going to have something along the lines of I am a teacher and I am a female. So that's the kind of things that ands are going to be. You're going to have two-sided sentences. You're going to have one thing and another thing, okay? And then it's the same thing here. I am a teacher or I am a female, those kind of things, okay? And then negation means not. So if you had a little symbol in front of that, I am not a teacher or I am not a female, something like that, okay? So here's what's going on. It may not make quite as much sense here until we get to the examples, but I'm going to give you the notes first so you know the symbolism and what I'm talking about. So if you have a conjunction, and connects the two parts. So, and if you look at this symbol, this is the easiest way to remember which is which. And this one looks like an A, just without the little cross in it. Okay, so that's the easiest way to remember it. And looks like an A. The or is a V, so it's upside down. All right, and then when we talk about truth values, you're going to have and. So what I was saying, my example was, I said that I am a teacher and I am a female. For the truth value to be true, because when they ask you truth value, that means what they're asking you is it true or false? That's what they're asking you. So anytime you see directions like that, find the truth value. They just want you to say if it's true or false. Okay? So the only time an and is true is only if both sides of that sentence are true. So I am a teacher, that's true. And I'm a female, that's also true. So both sides are true. So that means that one would be true. Okay? So anything else would be false. So if the first part is false and the second part is true, it's false. It has to be both of them. This and this have to be true. That's the easy way to remember it. That's the only time. So if one is false or both are false, then this statement would be false. Okay, and then when you do an or. So if you do an or, still have two sides of the sentence. This separates it with an or. So for the truth value with an or statement, that means only this or this has to be true. So only one has to be true for a true truth value. Oh, dyslexia. So for it to be true, only one part must be true. So as long as they're not both false. If both of them are false, that's the only time you're going to get a false out of this. So only false is if both are false. Okay, so they can both be true or just one of them can be true. It could be this or this and it would be true. So almost always these will be true. And almost always these will be false because they're much harder stipulations. But you don't want to say it like that. It's kind of a 50-50. It's either true or false. Okay, then you're also going to have a negation. Usually in math, when I say negation, that means change a sign. So from positive to negative or negative to positive. The way you say it is not. And then the symbol for it is this little curly sign. So if you need to find that on your keyboard, the place it's at on my keyboard is right next to the number 1. It's to the left of the number 1. That's where my little squiggle sign is. You have to hit the shift button. So the way you pronounce that is not. Okay, and for truth value, it just switches the value. So if your value is false, it switches to true and vice versa. So it just negates it. It just switches the truth or false, or the true or false value. Okay, so that didn't make a whole lot of sense. Examples are going to help. So down here, write a compound statement. So we're writing sentences, and then we're finding its truth value. Okay, so in this case, they give you a P and a Q, and then it's all symbolism down here that they're using. That's why I was showing you the symbols for and, or, and not. So they give you what the letters stand for. So if you see a P, you have to use an elephant is a mammal. So yes, an elephant is a mammal. And then Q, anytime you see a Q, it says a square has 4 right angles, which is true as well. We're going to learn that a lot later. So squares, to be a square, you have to have 4 right angles. And there are many other things too, but that's one of the things you got to have. So both of these things so far are true, but we have to make our sentences. So I'm going to write, except I want that to be much smaller so I can actually fit my sentences. Okay, so hold on. Let me scoot this over. I'm under B for some reason. All right, so it says P, and then this looks like an A without the line. So this is P and Q. So I need to start off with P. That means an elephant. And then I have to write my symbol, which this, you have to know what that stands for. That is and. And then Q. Q is a square has 4 right angles. That's my sentence. An elephant is a mammal and a square has 4 right angles. So that's the statement for each conjunction. That's my statement. And then find its truth value. So I just have to say if it's true or false. Remember, for it to be an and, I need this and this to be true. That's the only way it's going to be true. Both of them need to be true. So an elephant is a mammal, true. Square has 4 right angles, true. Since both are true, the truth value is true. Okay. Then over here for part B, maybe pause me and give one a try. See if you can do it. Let me make this smaller. Okay, so this one says not P. So that doesn't mean you put not an elephant is a mammal. This just means you have to change the value of it. So you have to change what it's saying. So instead of saying an elephant is a mammal, to make it not, that means you're changing it. You're going to say an elephant is not a mammal. So let me scoot over again. So an elephant is not a mammal. Again, this is an A. It almost looks like an A, so you have to put and. And then I have Q, just a regular Q. So a square has 4 right angles. Okay, so that's my compound sentence. That's all I have to do. I'm just translating this into that. So if you have a little squiggle or a not symbol, you just have to change it. If it says it is, then you make it not, and vice versa. So for an and, I need both of these statements to be true for it to work. An elephant is not a mammal is false. So you don't even have to care about the other one. If it's an and, you need both of them to be true. So this one is false. This is basically all the section is. So I'm going to take you through a couple more. So we're going to do the second one. That's all we're really doing with these. Okay, so these next two are going to be some ors. So if you think you can do it, pause me and see if you can try the ors. Let me get this smaller. Okay, so P, this time P is a diameter of a circle is twice the radius. Okay, let me scoot over. And then this time it's upside down, so this is going to be an or. And then it says, or Q, a rectangle has four equal sides. There's my statement. That's my writing the compound statement. Then I'm supposed to find its truth value. Remember, or, if it's or, it only has to be one or the other that is true. Okay? So diameter of a circle, if you don't know that, the diameter is the entire way through a circle. A radius is the halfway point. So a diameter of a circle is twice the radius. That is true. Some of these things you might have to Google and look up to see if it's true. Like if you didn't know if an elephant was a mammal or not, you might have to Google it and look it up. Okay, then it says or. So who cares if it's an or? If one of them is true in an or, it's automatically true. So it's got to be at least one of them to be true for it to be true. Okay, and then this one says a rectangle has four equal sides. That can happen. Usually it's a square or a rhombus that have to have four equal sides. So a rectangle can have four equal sides. Okay, but that doesn't really matter. If one of them is true for an or, then you're good to go. All right, so for this next one, this says not P. So not P means diameter of a circle is not twice the radius. Let me scoot over again. And then I've got my or symbol again, so I got to put in there or. And then it says Q, which is a rectangle has four equal sides. Okay, so there's my sentence. I need to find its truth value. So a diameter of a circle is not twice the radius. That is false. So I have an or, which means I have another chance if Q works. Or a rectangle has four equal sides, which that can sometimes happen. Like I said, a rectangle doesn't have to have four equal sides. What a rectangle has to have is it has to have four right angles. So that's what it has to have. So we're just going to go ahead. It can possibly, like, there's a weird thing in there where a rectangle can be a square, or a rectangle cannot be a square, but a square can be a rectangle, because all you need to have for a rectangle is four right angles. So a square has to have four right angles, four congruent sides. So we don't have to have four congruent sides for an angle. So this would be false, and that would be false. So that's very rare for an or statement to be false. Okay. So the ones that have four equal sides are a rhombus and a square. So that's all we're doing. Down here, I've got two ands and two ors. So I'd like you to pause me and go ahead and give it a try. These ones are a little obviously easier to definitely tell if they're true or false. So these make it a little bit better. So go ahead and pause me and give it a whirl. Let me change. Okay, so this one says P and Q. So P, I've got 10 plus 8 equals 18. So that's P. You don't have to make them proper sentences, so you don't have to, nothing fancy. And then it actually says and. It'll always give you the symbol, though. And then Q is September. That's 30 days. Okay, so that's my statement, and then I'm supposed to find the truth value. So remember, for an and, I need this and this to be true for it to work. So 10 and 8 is 18. That's true. September has 30 days. That's true. That makes this true. Okay. Number 2, P or Q. So P, again, is the 10 plus 8 equals 18, and it says or. So that's for number 2, P or Q. And so for an or, I just need one to be true for it to work. So 10 and 8 is 18, it's true. So that makes the whole statement true. This is also true. So both of them are true, doesn't matter. Only need one to be true for an or statement to be true. Okay, number 3, let me scoot up a little. So for number 3, it says Q or R. So Q is, and it says or R. A rectangle has 4 sides. Okay, again, or it's just one or the other that needs to be true for it to work. So September has 30 days, true. So that means right away I know it's true. Rectangle has 4 sides, that is also true. Both are true. Okay, and then number 4, I've got Q, which is September has 30 days. And then it says and then it says not R. So if it has that little squiggle in front of it, you have to change it. So instead of a rectangle has 4 sides, you're going to say a rectangle does not have 4 sides. Okay, and then I'm trying to find the truth value. And means that both this and that have to be true for it to work. So September has 30 days, true. Rectangle does not have 4 sides is false. So for an and statement, if both of them aren't true, then that makes it false. Okay. So that's what you're working on tonight. There are 8 sentences like this. And there are some more of those Venn diagrams to practice. So enjoy your weekend and turn this in as soon as you're done.